Hey, I want to take a moment today to discuss something that, sometimes bothers me just a little bit when I hear people say it on the internet, on gun forums, or on YouTube, or whatever. And it involves working on your own guns. So I thought, well, what better time to talk about it than when I am actually disassembling this gun to add a new feature to it. And the thing I want to talk about is gunsmithing. Now, a lot of people like to do their own gunsmithing. I'm one of those people. I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I do pretty much anything you can think of that you do other than like milling slides and things like that because I don't have the equipment. But I'm a big fan of doing my own stuff when it comes to working on my guns. Today, I am actually installing a new type of trigger onto my little tit sauce Regent BR9 SS here today. And this particular install is a good reason for me to talk about, what I wanted to talk about today, because this is the type of thing where when someone will say on a forum or in a comment section, they'll be like, well, how hard is it to do this? How hard would it be to install this SFS 2.0 trigger? And someone will inevitably say, in fact, a lot of people will say, don't do it yourself, take it to a gunsmith. If you do it yourself, you run into all kinds of problems. There's no way you could possibly do it right. And then if something goes wrong, you're liable. And pretty much all of that is just garbage. So I wanted to address that today. Now, as far as not being able to do it right, that's a bunch of garbage because your gun is a much simpler tool or machine than your car. So if you can work on your car, you can work on your gun. And people say, oh, but if your gun malfunctions, you'll have so much liability. Well, you could possibly have liability if you did something to your car and it malfunctioned and caused harm to someone too. But here's the thing. There's not much you're going to do to your gun that's going to make it malfunction in a way that you're going to be liable. If anything, you're going to make your gun not work and just get yourself in trouble that way. As far as saying, well, you shouldn't do your own gunsmithing even if you're competent because of liability, that's kind of stupid because the only person you're risking really is you. Even if the gun, if you did something crazy like remove a safety, etc., you might face some repercussions as far as liability is concerned. Like if you remove the magazine safety in this gun, well, if you have an accident while the magazine's out, yeah, you might face some added liability, which you would have faced anyway, but you might have a little bit harder time explaining it if you took that safety out. But if you don't do anything that changes the way the gun functions in any meaningful way, well, then you're not really causing any problem here. You're not giving yourself any added liability. As long as you keep the gun within factory specs or the specs of a manufacturer that produces parts for the gun, you're pretty safe. In fact, your chances of facing extra risk are so small, I wouldn't even worry about it, period. But there's some people that always want to worry. And you know what? Let those people worry. Let them worry for themselves. You do what you want to do. I've never understood why, but it seems like sometimes the only time people care about other people is when they're doing something that they don't like on the internet. If they were someone that was on the street starving, they wouldn't even give them a second look or do anything to help them. But if they say something that they somehow think they know better than on the internet, they feel like they got to intervene. So long story short, if you want to work on your own gun, do it. Now, do I say support your local gunsmith? Well, yeah, of course I do. I support my local gunsmiths. I try to think of things to have done, like get a custom paint job for my son, or go get some sights added, or buy something from them. I definitely support my local gunsmiths. But that doesn't mean I'm going to run to my local gunsmith every time I want to install a new set of sights, or a new set of grips, or even a trigger or a hammer. So you do what you want to do. Basically is what I'm saying. If you're competent enough to actually work on a firearm and you want to do it, do it. There's really not much risk involved. So screw all the people that say otherwise.